I did. I did see that. Yes, that was good.
Football game, baseball game. Oh, I'm watching you guys watch Ruri Rocks playing Battlefield 6. Sometimes the brain just needs stimulation, man. I don't know what to say.
It's the dopamine, man. I'm addicted.
Mm-hmm. Hella dopamine. Well, you know what gives hella dopamine? The anime we're covering today.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I
Ladies
feel
and
like
gentlemen.
the characters need more dopamine than we have.
Absolutely. They could use a little doom scrolling in their lives, to be frank.
They could, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Anime Gourmands. You are joined by the two head gourmands here. That's right, Kevin and Cade. It's a Kevin and Cade episode. KNC, baby.
So,
Cade, how you doing?
Are we chefs or are we the ones eating?
I said head gourmands, and I think that means we are in charge of. We're definitely eating.
Okay, we're definitely eating.
But
we're the food critics.
We're curating. We are curating the food. You know what I mean? It's like we're setting the menu for future gourmands in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We're kind of like expeditions in Clair Obscure. You know?
How you been liking that?
Yeah. All the previous expeditions are our previous podcasts. And we do refer to the content in those podcasts from time to time. So yeah, it's kind of an apt description. Anyways, not the point. Kate, how are you doing on this fine Monday?
I'm dressed like a banana. I'm wearing yellow joggers and a yellow sweatshirt, and I love it.
Oh,
it's nice and cool in my apartment. And yeah, dude, I'm living life.
That sounds good. All yellow, huh? You ever watch the Savannah Bananas?
I am not. What is that?
So it's baseball, but all the players are either like retired professional baseball players or they're just like athletes that weren't like maybe good enough to go pro, but they're still like incredibly talented individuals, right?
Mm.
And so instead of getting runs the traditional way, you get rewarded by doing like flips and tricks and stuff. You know,
kind of like the Globetrotters of baseball.
The Globetrotters of yes, they are kind of referred to as such. If you ever see like a bunch of yellow people on a baseball field doing a synchronized dance, that's them.
Let's rephrase that.
I said what I said, and I don't know if there's a better way to rephrase it. They are people and they're wearing yellow. My bad.
A real pause moment there.
They're like, hey, Kevin, we're trying not to get canceled, all right? Again.
I want to create our 5th podcast.
Yeah. Are we at 5?
No, we're at like 2, 4
3.
or something.
We're at 4. Yeah, we're at 4. We're not too far off. It would be our 5th.
It would be our 5th. Yeah.
You are spot on without even meaning to be. That's so hilarious. The meme is real. All right. I think I'm beating around the bush long enough. Let's go ahead and talk about the topic of today's episode, Takopi's Original Sin. A show so heavy that one of our crew members didn't feel like watching it, which is totally understandable because I dreaded watching these episodes. And I just barely finished like the other day.
Yeah, that was the first thing I did as soon as we turned off the previous recording.
Oh yeah,
I just started watching more Takopi because I was looking forward to it. There's something about it, man. There's something about it.
No, I mean, hey, it's really really good. It's artistic. It is it's got a message that
It's
is clearly
unique.
good. It's unique, 100%.
I've seen so many things that are like just similar over the years, and this is like the one of the first things that's like captured me in a while.
100%. And well, let's go ahead and dive into it, Cade. Official Takopi's Original Sin spoilers for all 6 episodes. Um, how do we want to approach this? Do we want to do like a summary of what happens in each episode, or do we want to just kind of feel it out and
Yeah, let's do like a summary
like
of
a
what
like
happens in each episode, as
quick
best as
recap?
we can remember,
Sure,
and then
sure, sure.
give our feelings on each episode.
Of course. I'll very quickly go through the first 3, and then if you want to take over episodes 4 through 6,
Oh, geez. Okay.
I'm giving you the good task. Um, so again, we covered these first 3 episodes in a few podcasts ago, but a quick summary. Episode 1, Takopi and Shizuka meet. They are friends, I guess. Like Takopi's trying to learn more about Shizuka and her situation, and we get introduced to his happy toys, Shizuka's disposition, her home life, her relationship with Marina, which is not very good. Some people would say bad, actually. And we see it finally culminate into Shizuka, unfortunately, taking her own life with one of the happy toys, which sends Takopi into a spiral. In which case he gets desperate enough to use the camera gadget, which he tells us is has the ability to go back in time to the point where the photo was taken. Right. Episode 2 is every attempt by Takopi to save Shizuka going wrong. It keeps ending up in the same way. And really the turning point is Takopi. I'm trying to very quickly scrub over here.
Yeah.
The turning point is Takopi kind of standing in for Shizuka, taking some of the abuse, which doesn't go well, but that's the timeline that we like stay in. And eventually these events lead to Marina taking her frustrations out on Shizuka to the point where Chappie gets taken away by
Chappie's the
animal
dog.
control. Chappie is the dog, man. Which sends Shizuka into a depression. Marina takes Shizuka out into the woods after school one day, and where Takopi deals a fatal blow to Marina, killing her with the camera, breaking the camera as well. So they are stuck in this timeline. Azuma-kun turns out to have been following them, and he joins their little squad in episode 3. Episode 3 has Azuma kind of helping Shizuka and Takopi cover up the crime. They leave her buried. We get a lot more insight into Azuma's character, and also Takopi takes Marina's place in her family so that they can buy a little bit of time and throw off, the police when I'm sure Azuma was thinking the body would eventually be discovered, not as quickly as it ended up being, but trying to throw off the scent a little bit was the vibe I was getting. And so we get a lot of Azuma's inferiority complex with his brother, his mom's disciplinary style, I guess, which we see the effect that it has on Azuma's psyche. Pancakes, lots of pancakes. And we see Takopi kind of come to this conclusion where he realizes, oh, maybe killing a child was a mistake. Which, hey, aliens, I guess, reach conclusions differently than we do. But he really gains a real sense of empathy, unlike we have seen from him before. When like Marina's mom's breaking down, she's like, "Give me back my daughter" and all that, right? And so that episode ends with Marina's body being discovered by a geological survey, which moves us on to episode 4. Cade, what do you remember from
boy,
episode 4?
I might need your help a little bit.
Don't worry. I'll chime in where I can. I'm also
Okay.
scrubbing actively too, so
Okay.
if I see anything, I'll say something.
So episode 4 opens up with Takopi pretending to be Marina, Ozuma and Shizuka planning out a trip to Tokyo so that Shizuka can see Chappie and her dad again. They almost immediately get found out by the geological survey that Marina was killed, and so there's a lot of questioning going on. Azuma feels a lot of guilt for what he did, and it starts to affect his daily life, which his brother notices. And the entire time, Azuma keeps like wanting to back out of this, but every time he wants to back out, Shizuka ends up manipulating him and essentially preying on his feelings for her to get him to keep making the trip to Tokyo happen. Even though the police are slowly, closing in on them, and eventually culminates in Ozuma having this really close moment with his brother, where he finally tells him, what happened, or tells him that I'm assuming he was the one who buried
The body.
Marina. Yeah, Marina.
Yeah.
But doesn't say who killed him because, like, the police don't immediately arrest Shizuka. I'm assuming that's why. Which is interesting because you'd think they'd press him for that information, but whatever. But Shizuka ends up going to Tokyo in episode 5. And you get this nice little montage of her travels, where she finally gets to her dad's place and is super excited to see Chappie again. And when she opens up the door, or when the dad opens up the door, 2 kids run out. And she realizes that he's been living, his own life with another woman and another family. And has, in her mind, completely forgotten about her. And I mean, there was even a moment where the dad is super scummy by being like, "Oh, I don't even know who this is."
Yeah.
Which pushes Shizuka to the point of murder again. Well, I say again, but she wasn't the one who murdered Marina. But she does like start to be like, okay, I'm gonna murder the kids first, and then I'll murder the dad to see if Chappie's hiding in their stomachs, which is wild. And then she ends up killing Takopi. As far as I can tell, this is where it starts getting really confusing.
I agree. There's a lot of layers that get added on from this point forward.
Yes. So I'm assuming that she kills Takopi because we get this momentary glimpse of her bringing a sharp rock down on Takopi. And then it cuts immediately to um, this world where Marina is still alive. Um, and she's grown up a little bit. They've gotten out of elementary school and they've gotten into middle school, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. So the episode is titled "To You in 2022," which I believe it's referring to the year in which Takopi goes back to like because when we see Marina older, if that's Takopi's memories, right? So I think the assumption there is it is he originally came to Earth in the year 2022 and had that first encounter with Marina. And
okay.
then that goes with episode 6 because it says to all of you in 2016. That's the title of that episode, and it goes back to the elementary school um, age for everyone, right? So it looks like it's a 6-year gap between their ages.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the point of Takopi's original. I see. I see. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I didn't think
Mm-hmm.
about it like that.
We're piecing it together. We're piecing it together.
It was really hard to understand because it was just like it was bouncing around so much. But in episode 5, um, you spend more time with Marina, who's more grown up now. She has um, the abuse that her mom has bestowed upon her um, is physically showing now. She has
Mm-hmm.
like scars on her face, and she has mental trauma of broken glass that originally cut her face when her
Mm-hmm.
mom did whatever she did. Um, oh, excuse me, sorry, had to burp.
You're good. You're good.
We see Takopi go up, or Marina go up to Takopi in the same fashion as we did in episode 1, where they kind of find each other at the park. Um, Marina takes Takopi home, um, and Takopi kind of gets a glimpse of what's going on in the household. Sees that the mom is threatening her with glass and broken glass and stuff, um, and sees Marina cry, um, and after following Marina around more, she abuses him and kicks him around and stuff. And Takopi's like, oh, okay, well, this is how humans treat each other. Like they're supposed to kick each other and they're supposed to abuse each other, and it's all good and fun. Um, and decides that the best way to get Marina to smile more is for her to have a kid, and so ends up leading her to Ozuma, who is, I guess, her first boyfriend at that point. Um, and her mom is super excited about it. And Ozuma ends up falling in love with Shizuka, um, even though he's currently dating Marina. And Marina's mom flips out on Marina, saying that like it's because she's not good enough, and the scars on her face are her fault, and just a bunch of like just really messed up shit.
Oh
Ends
yeah.
up like going for a stab on Marina, and I guess somehow Marina wrestles it out of her hands and kills her mom with it, because Takopi comes in through the door and sees the resulting uh, the result of the fight that broke out, and Marina ends up killing herself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, Takopi goes back to his home world where he talks to uh, the queen or the mom or whatever, the queen octopus, if you want you want to call it that.
Hmm?
And is like, hey, I need to go back in time so that I can stop this from happening. The mom says no. He ends up going anyways. Um,
Well, the mom tries to erase his memory
oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
and actually
And
begins that process. Yeah.
yeah, successfully does it at some point. Or to an extent rather. Um, and then in episode 6, we're transported. Where
Back
are
to
we transported to?
2016.
Okay, so we
Back to the
live
original
through.
setting in 2016. Yeah.
Okay, it's really confusing. Um, so this time, she Takopi blames Marina's death on Shizuka because Shizuka stole Azuma, and so Takopi wants to kill Shizuka, but ends up losing the memories of like why.
Hmm.
Um, and so he finds Shizuka, uh, and ends up going through the whole you know episodes 1 through 3 with her, and realizes that the only way to stop all of the bad things from happening is to sacrifice himself. Am I getting this right? I
Hmm.
feel like I'm skipping a lot, but I don't remember
Uh,
exactly what happened during the.
so yeah, he waits for Shizuka. Well, he has that conversation with Azuma, right? And Azuma's like, I can't help anymore.
Right,
She's
right, right. But
Shizuka returns to the city with all of the toys that Takopi left behind. I think the implication was that she just barely returned to her hometown with the use of those toys because they're like hooked onto her backpack. And then they start having that conversation together. She starts beating
what?
him with a rock. She starts beating him with the fucking rock.
Okay, so Takopi gets either killed or knocked out in episode
5.
4,
Was it 4?
and
It doesn't
then
matter. Yeah.
yeah, and then is somehow back in the hometown.
Okay, yeah. So I think he gets knocked out, right?
Okay,
And then he makes it back to from Tokyo like almost immediately. Has that conversation with Azuma-kun, I believe. And then Azuma-kun says he can't help. Then Takopi, we see a scene where he's just on the like they always hang out by the 3 pipes that are
yeah,
just
it was
laying
cement.
around. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. We see 3 season changes. So it becomes fall, becomes winter, and then the spring. And that's why there's Sakura in the background when he's having that conversation with Shizuka.
yeah.
So the implication there being Shizuka was in Tokyo for like 7 months. That's also where we get the newspaper clipping saying like 2 young girls missing. Um, and then like, oh, the 2 young girls ended up being safe and sound, right?
I was wondering about that because I was like, it happened right after Azuma said he wasn't going to help anymore. So I was
Correct.
like, did Azuma do that? But you're making sense. You're making sense.
And then another tag, it comes very quickly. I only noticed it now because I paused it. But another tag in the newspaper was it goes, a girl behind the incident? Was it done by a mother and daughter after being abandoned? So they're like suspecting Shizuka in this case. I'm sure like the 2 young daughters are
Wait, after being
saying it.
abandoned.
After the mother and daughter being Shizuka and her mom.
Oh, Shizuka and her mom. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and so yeah, I'm sure like the young girls were like, yeah, some girl, dad kind of seemed to know her, whatever, right? And the police are kind of piecing it together. But she made it back
I'm
to her
surprised they
hometown.
didn't. If that is the case, I'm surprised they didn't go like whole hog and just be like, yeah, the daughters were found murdered with their bellies slit open and shit. Like this show is so dark, anyways. Like
It is.
it wouldn't take away anything from the story if that did
It
happen.
it wouldn't. I'll say this. I think it is consistent with Shizuka's character because she has like psychotic tendencies, but she hasn't done anything really, you know, other
She's
than beat up
manipulating
Takopi.
the fuck out
Oh,
of Azuma.
absolutely. Yes. But I'm talking like violently psychotic, not there yet, right? And I think it's supposed to be because I I want to say that leaving her innocent of murder brings home the point that like she is at heart a good person, just in a shitty situation, right? And through
Okay.
and
Okay.
through a lot of trauma. And so I do think that whoever came up with this story, because it is an OVA, there is no source manga or anything like that. Whoever came up with this story um didn't want to muddy her innocence, I guess. Her natural innocence.
Okay. Okay.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then if she murders someone, it's like, wait, she's capable of that? Like, is she really a good person? Are we trying to say that murderers are only made through trauma? It's like then the message becomes a little bit muddy, in my opinion.
I mean,
Um,
she already did like
oh, she kidnapped the two daughters.
yeah, she
I mean,
kidnapped the two daughters,
it's still pretty
which
fucked up. Don't get me wrong.
which like it goes to show like if what you're saying is true, like um I'm assuming she held them at like gunpoint or knife point more like
Right,
um
right, 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 right.
which gave her the opportunity to do it and she chose not to do it
She
instead.
chose not to. Yeah,
Which
yeah, 100%.
yeah, if what you're saying is kind of what the directors were going for, the writers were going for, then yeah, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm. It's definitely left a little open ended intentionally, I think.
it is. Um, but dude, I've been this entire week I've been thinking about this, like trying to like make
Kind of
it
piece
make
it
sense
together.
in my mind,
Yeah.
and I still haven't been able to do it.
Don't worry.
So good on
We're
you.
talking
Good
through it.
on you
We're talking
for
through it.
getting through it. Um, and then finally, Takopi realizes that the only way to make things better is if he uses all of his happiness power to kind of sacrifice himself and uh, leave imprints on their memories.
Mm-hmm.
Going back, sorry, skipping ahead a little bit. So he uses his happy power to go back in time again, this time sacrificing himself. But in doing so, he leaves an imprint on their memories. So they're back in 2016, assumedly.
Yes.
Um, and they're going through, Shizuka's going through it again where she's getting bullied by Marina. And it comes to the point where Marina is about to murder Shizuka. Um, and suddenly they both have um, a moment of realization like, oh shit, there's this little cute drawing that Shizuka made of Takopi. And now, like, those memories are starting to come back of Takopi being with them, you know, um, and the happiness that he brought to their lives. And they didn't realize that um, without him, you know, they were missing something.
Mm.
And so by bringing him back into their memories, even though it was just through a little drawing, they become, I hesitate to say friends, but they Marina stops bullying Shizuka,
Mm.
and they become acquaintances. And then even further down the line, I believe in 2022, by the time it catches up to to where the story originally started, you can see that they're friends and that Marina has reconciled uh, the fact that uh, it's not Shizuka's fault that her mom is dating her dad. Um, and Shizuka has accepted that Marina is a good person.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where it leaves off. And it's wow. It's incredible. It's something.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say these last three episodes weren't nearly as traumatic as the first three, but it was still very, very heavy. And the dad, like ignoring Shizuka and being like pretending to not know who she is, did make my heart sink hella hard. I was like, oh fuck, man,
Yeah.
it's
It
damn.
was Ozuma and his brother.
Oh, that was
That
also
moment.
yeah.
That one tugged on my heartstrings.
100%. 100%. I had to pause
Being
there.
being
I'm
the
not gonna
older
lie.
brother. Yeah. Being the older brother in my family, it's like, you know, there was also a moment where I had to be like, you know, hey, I'm here for you if you ever need to talk. And
Yeah.
like there's a different bond between us than there is with us and our parents,
Mm-hmm.
and like we can have that relationship and without them, you know, and
100%.
that really struck a chord with me.
Mm-hmm.
What else struck a chord with me? Seeing Marina lose her boyfriend like that,
Mm.
uh, and having the mom blame her for it.
Yeah.
That was rough. That was rough. Uh, Especially when she came at her with the broken glass and everything. Man, this one was rough to get through, but it was really good.
And then Marina doing like also choosing suicide at the end, before
Yeah, yeah,
dude. But it I think the big thing for me is the message at the end of the day is fairly straightforward, which is that like, and I think Takopi at in the episode 6 says something to this line. Um, the communication, just like talking, is it's
key to
not going to
happiness.
it's not going to yeah, it's the key to happiness, right? It's not going to solve all your problems, obviously, but when you don't have mutual communication, then you come into these situations, right? That you start to like, Marina's taking her frustrations and trauma out on Shizuka. I think it's actually really important to note that when Takopi goes back to 2022, well, he doesn't go back to 2022. When he remembers 2022, um, Shizuka comes back to her hometown and everyone's talking about like, oh yeah, that's the girl who like tried to kill herself. And it only didn't succeed because the rope broke, right? And then she went away and now she's back. And I think that's huge because it kind of implies that her original suicide in episode 1 only worked because he gave her the fucking happy toy.
Yeah,
So, so that's really fucked up. And also it implies that like that this timeline was due for 2 suicide attempts, right? And that one of them implied to be successful, I think, in Marina's. And I think the implication there is that like that Marina was the original kind of like victim, I guess, from Takopi's perspective, that he was trying to help. Uh, and which like it reframes the whole anime in your mind, because you're like, oh, but like he was there to save Shizuka, but he was actually there to save Marina. It's like, and the story goes from being Shizuka and trying to save her into saving both of them, right?
Yeah.
So like that revelation to me was like incredible. And also, if Shizuka goes away, there's no saying for sure that Marina wouldn't have eventually met her own demise as well, right? And so the only way to prevent all of that tragedy was Takopi like intervening and then sacrificing himself to save both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's it was an incredible. I love the way that they like brought the two characters together and sort of like reframed it as like, no, this is not just Shizuka's salvation. It is Marina's salvation and also Azuma's salvation, to like maybe a less extreme extent, but he still also benefits from, these two girls and Takopi's influence on him, right? I don't know. It's an incredible anime for sure. Kay, do you have anything you want to add? Anything you want to?
What do you think? What was your favorite episode?
Favorite episode? Oh. I mean, it's kind of hard to decide because they're all equally tragic. I think I'm gonna lean towards episode 6, just because I think it ended satisfyingly, yeah. And I don't think the conclusion was ham-fisted by any means, and I think it does everything it set out to do. But honorable shout out to episode 4, titled Azuma-kun's Salvation. That's where we have him talking to his brother. I think that's the most relatable family situation, and they portrayed it really, really well. And so an honorary shout out from me for episode 4. What say you?
Episode 1.
Episode 1?
Because
episode 1's the one I dread the most.
Because the opening credits was so lighthearted, and it showed Shizuka and Marina using the friendship
the friendship rope.
The friendship rope to become friends. Which in my head was like, okay, so this is how it's going to kind of go in the anime, where it's this journey to try to get them to be friends. Obviously, they're probably not going to use the rope to do it, but
it's a symbol.
That'll be it's a symbol of what they're going to try to do. Which, I mean, it's not wrong,
right?
But I did not see Shizuka's death coming.
No, 100%. Not like that.
And the like as soon as they go from like the shot of like every single time that Shizuka says bye to Takopi, so that she goes home and and Takopi stays at the park, and always says, "See you tomorrow." And then there's one shot where she smiles and she's like, "All right, I'll see you tomorrow." And the immediate next shot is
Yeah.
her beat the fuck up
Holding the
and
collar.
holding the collar,
Oh,
and it's like bloody and everything like that, torn up. Um, and immediately just your heart sinks, and you're like, "Oh fuck, what just happened?" And then she, after talking with Takopi and getting the rope from him and talking like she's gonna commit suicide, she says bye instead of see you
see you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
And the man, that hits so hard.
Yeah.
And it blindsided me. I did not see that coming. So I think that was my favorite episode just because
Yeah.
of all the feels that it made me feel.
100%. Yeah. No, I totally valid answer. I
But
just like
yes,
dread
episode
to even
6
think
is
about it though.
but episode 6 is also really, really good just because of how
Yeah.
it ends. So
How it closes the loop. I
yeah.
think a lot of times like the time travel stuff can be closed kind of messily. I think they did a really good job of like hey, it's not really the focus, but even though it's not the focus, like we're gonna close it in a way that like no one should have any problems with this. And honestly, I don't, you know. So yeah, episode 6 for sure. I give a huge shout out for being satisfying. I want to go back to this conversation about the opening because
Yeah.
I meant to talk about this when we did our first 3 episode discussion. It completely slipped my mind, and it was gonna slip my mind again until you brought it up. The opening for me, I remember watching the first episode, and obviously we read the description, so we knew the show was gonna be like a little heavy, right?
Yeah.
But the intro is done in a way that I was already feeling uneasy just from watching that in episode 1
Really?
because the song starts kind of like your typical, like J-rock, female led vocalist. It's like, okay, it's like your standard thing. And then where there usually is like a like musical breakdown, or maybe even what's the opposite of a breakdown, like maybe like they add more layers to the music. What they do instead is they speed up the rhythm, and the singing becomes like, instead of singing, it's almost like a shouting singing. And there's just a level of angst that I immediately latched onto. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like it's a happy song, but the way she's singing it and the BPM like going up in the middle of the song, it made me feel so uneasy. And then after after episode 1, I was like, well, I think I was right to feel this way.
See, I only watch I'm not a big opening credits guy
For sure.
or closing credits. Definitely not closing credits. Um, but I usually watch it once just
Mhm.
to, you know, see how the song is, see how the animation is, or
Well, I
sorry,
added to the playlist. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Um, and it didn't hit that for me, and I was kind of just like, kind of like tuning out a little bit. So,
For sure.
and I only listened to it that once. So, yeah,
Mhm.
I can't say much about how it made me feel
Mhm.
besides just bored.
No,
So,
for sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. No, I just yeah, that was definitely my experience in episode 1, being like, oh man, something's a little off. I got a good question for you.
what's up?
Um, so the title is Takopi's Original Sin. There's in episode 5, we realized that the original. Oh, okay, actually, okay, let me frame it this way. I watched those first 3 episodes thinking the original sin was Takopi giving her the happy rope, the
Yes.
friendship rope, right? But that's not really the original sin, right? Like The original sin is him helping Marina?
I think
Or
his original sin is being ignorant of how the human world works.
mm,
Knowing, like, coming from this planet where nothing bad happens.
right,
You know,
right.
it's the original sin of
Ah,
Takopi is not understanding how humans communicate. Um, or lack thereof, if you
mm-hmm.
want to say that, you know.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Um, so I kind of took that as the original sin by the time the 6 episodes were up. Um, I don't know. It yeah, yeah. This anime, man,
Well,
it really breaks the brain a little
so
bit.
so I'm thinking about it now, and his mom is punishing him, right? And that's why she's trying to get rid of his memories. She's like, oh, you did something you weren't supposed to do, which was what exactly?
I know. I
This
don't.
is
I don't think that
th-
she was trying to punish him. I think it's just that um, she realized that Earth wasn't
mm,
a good place to go to. That, like, it wasn't worth going there and sacrificing the happiness of her children, to help other people. And that's why
mm,
she was erasing his memories instead of just being like, get the fuck out of here.
I see. Trying to take away his desire to help Marina was her intention. Okay, gotcha. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. It was fantastic. Great show.
Where would you rank
Um,
this among your anime list?
ooh, well, it's. I don't want to put it in my top 10 because then I'd have to think about the trauma it has imprinted on me. But I think objectively, man, this has to be a top 20, top 15 anime of all time for me.
For
Like
sure. For sure.
it's an anime that, like, if I want to talk to someone about like why I think anime can be artistic, why it can be more than just like shonen slob, right? This is definitely one of those anime I'd show or I'd tell someone to watch, right?
Mm.
Because it is artistic. It has a good message. It has a lot of moments that like subvert your expectations in a way that like standard you're like, you know, your popular anime won't, right? So I really think like objectively, dude, this has to be on my top 20 list. Also because like, yeah, I don't want to to be thinking about this anime too much personally. Like I don't like to dwell on um, sad things too much. But it's the fact that it gave me those emotions. It made me sad. It made me dread watching it, and not from like any sort of like gore or any sort of like, you know what I mean? Like easy shock factor um component to it. It it stands out that much more. So if I'd have to like really dig into my top anime and see where I would place it. The top 20 seems easy, and it might crack the top 10 if I really dig into it. Now,
So
what about you?
I'm in the same boat as you, where I don't like to dwell on the really, dark ones, the really sad ones. So honestly, I'm probably going to forget about this one after this season, maybe after a couple seasons, because like that's just how I am, you know.
No, totally.
And then someone will remind me, and then I'll be like, "Oh my god, that was such a good one," you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're right when you say objectively rather than subjectively.
Mm-hmm.
Objectively, I think it's absolutely in the top 20, probably even top 10. But subjectively, it's because I'm going to forget about it. Like, it's not going to be something that I ever recommend, you
No,
know?
totally. Yeah, absolutely.
So that might be a good idea for one of these recordings one day, to do like an objective tier list and a subjective tier list.
Oof. I mean, hey, you could be as objective as you want. Like at the end of the day, it is very hard to say like if you go on
Well,
Crunchyroll right now, like there's tons of people who like dislike the individual episodes in Takopi, right? Like it's not like universally a beloved show or anything like that. You know what I mean?
hmm,
But I do think it would be ignorant to say that this show doesn't have the qualities that to make it like a great anime, you know?
yeah.
Um but like at the end of the day, it's like, oh well, I don't agree with your like uh what do you call it? Shoot, I'm blanking on the term. When you have like a rubric, you know what I mean? Like, but not a rubric. It's like your criteria, right? It's like, oh well, I weigh this criteria more, and therefore Takopi actually dips in quality. In that case, it's like, well, all right. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is an objective tier list would be kind of hard to conceptually speaking. Um, but hey, we could try.
Never know.
Never know.
Kevin, this was a
That's me.
very good episode because I honestly was very confused by the end of it, and you've opened my eyes to the depths of this show, and it's really helped me appreciate it more.
For
Um,
sure.
so thank you for that. Where where can we uh, be found for more anime like this
Oh
and more
shoot.
discussions like this?
More weekly anime content?
Yes, sir.
Well, we are on tons of streaming apps, podcast apps, but main app Spotify, where we have a comment section, and you can shout out whatever anime you want us to watch. If you want to talk about anime that we are discussing, if you want to talk about like your opinions on Takopi, for example, do it right below this episode. If you wanted to bring the discussion outside of the Spotify world, well, we have a couple of avenues here, Cade. Thank you for asking. We have the email, animegourmands@gmail.com, where you can send all of your delicious emails. And if you're not really an email person, we also have the Blue Sky, where we are Anime Gourmands. Blue Sky Social. So that's at Anime Gourmands. You can find us there. I post maybe every month or so. I'm trying to be better. I am trying to be better. And yeah, I think that about covers the socials. I do want to give a special shout out. Our viewership is increasing. Our followership is also increasing. All of these data points, I love to see number go up. So thank you, all of you, very much. Y'all love the fucking fragrant flower and Takopi episode, so definitely will be covering. Well, we already covered Takopi, so we are responding in kind. But remember to hit that follow button, rate the show 5 stars, all that jazz. It helps us out a ton, especially since we are a budding podcast. Kay, do you have anything you want to add in that regard?
I need to watch Garnt's video on Takopi. See what he says.
Oh, you tell me, because I almost don't want to.
I'm
Not
just
because
curious.
not because I don't not because I don't respect Garnt's opinion or anything, but I think I'm satisfied with where I am in relationship to the show,
I
and my
feel like
opinion of it. You know what I mean?
his anime in a nutshell videos don't go too in depth on how it made him feel and
Oh
like the
no,
good and the bads.
they're
So
definitely more vibe checks
yeah,
than
exactly.
like yeah.
So I'm not gonna like. I don't think anything he says is going to change the way that I feel.
I see what you're saying.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I am curious to see what he says.
No, totally.
But
Um,
yeah, that's it for me.
hell yeah. Well, Kate, thank you for joining
Of
us
course,
on
of
this
course.
episode. Next week it'll be fun. We're gonna go with your idea. We're gonna make restaurant comps. So we're gonna
Ah,
so I'm gonna provide you guys a list of restaurants, and you guys are gonna tell me what anime is the comparison to this real life restaurant.
okay.
Uh, so we're gonna move full forward with that, and yeah, the next like 5 or so weeks are going to be very fun, lighthearted episodes, unlike this one. So if you want to see the fun stuff happen again, it will happen soon. Kate, it's time to clean up the plate, wouldn't you say?
Is this the part where I say it?
This is the part where you say it.
Waiter, check please.
Yes, sir. We'll see you next week.